Good evening, you fuckers. Welcome to part 3 of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
You ready? Yeah, we actually did all of these in one sitting. So this is the top of the third hour.
Yeah. We're really in the thick of it, the dark hours.
Yeah, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll let you begin.
I forgot to say this earlier. So, I think it was a missed opportunity with the kendo thing to not have included that in Claire's campaign, because I think it would have been kind of set up that she sees like this little girl being affected by the G virus, turning her into a zombie, and then not too long after that, Sherry ended up infected by G to carry the virus on, and effectively he probably would have just absorbed her to like fuel his transformation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would have just it would have made Claire's reaction to seeing her infected just so much more desperate to get her cured, because she had already seen a kid just being affected by the zombie version of the virus. This is way worse. This is going to turn her into a truly freakish monster, not just something that was mindless, shuffling along.
But something that would be painful all the way. Like, your bones are gonna break, your bones are gonna change. It's like, and that happening to a kid is a horrific thought.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just like 10 or 12, something like that. Poor kid.
Poor kid.
But
just caught up in the mix of it because she was afraid.
Yeah. We'll come back to that for sure. So, after the sewers and all that shit, you finally get to the lab. Plant 43, which is the plant in that one room. I wrote add research here. I forgot to do the research, so oh well. What
Plant
I do now
33 is a douchebag.
Yeah, it is. But what I effectively know is they were experimenting on the G virus with this thing.
Right.
Or rather, the source of what made the G virus, which also comes from a flower. So they're experimenting on a plant with another plant. And I know that's not mentioned in this game. That's actually from Resident Evil 5, but just going with that. This thing...
Some advanced botany going on.
Yeah. Plant 43 is like... It's sentient to some level. It ended up expanding and infiltrating. If I remember this correctly, it took over some bodies with by duplicating itself to take over, create copies, I guess. But they were still controlled by it somehow. These things effectively ate up a lot of the mass on the people and just worked into the nervous system, and even split the head in half to be like a Venus flycatcher of sorts. And that's what's created the Ivy. And the Ivy are 10 levels of fuck no.
Oh, yes. Kill with fire, literally.
It's actually the only way you can kill them. You can stun them and you can down them by shooting their pustules. However, they will always get back up unless you burn the ever-living shit out of them. With a flamethrower, with the spark shot, or if you're on New Game Plus, one hit with a rocket launcher will instantly ignite them. So it's nice.
Yeah, smoking that herb.
Jesus Christ!
Honestly, the Ivies are probably one of the most horrific, not just because their story is scary, their design is horrific, but the fact that it's like, if you don't have a sub-weapon, they instant kill you.
Yeah.
Which is
happened.
just... What?
Yeah. Which happened to me. I did a Leon Hardcore New Game Plus run, and I got all the way to the last 10-minute counter. I may have said this in episode 1. I forget. I'm going to say it again. I got there. One of them grabbed me. And I didn't have a countering weapon. So it killed me. And I was determined to get through the game without saving. And because I didn't have a save, it sent me all the way back to the gas station.
Oh.
And
horrible.
Yeah, day 2, I just went on a murder spree to get some revenge.
Oh yeah, you did mention this because you killed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good way. The rocket launcher is one of the best weapons in the game. Just simply, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next on the list is, with the Ivies, one thing I wanted to mention, we talked about this before the episode, I think yesterday or something, is with the Ivies, it's very interesting because it's like, it almost reminds you of The Last of Us clickers, but this is before then. So it makes you wonder if they had some sort of inspiration, which is cool, because they even make the same noises. So now we're going to. What I'm interested in talking about is, since this is the 3rd episode, we should probably get all our shit out and just not make a 4th episode, because I'm sure that would be overkill. But our favorite storyline. What?
Actually, yeah, that'll be the end of episode 3. We'll pick up on the 4th one. just kidding. I mean, technically,
starring only Heroicus.
Technically, we have one episode we definitely will do after. Well, not after this, but in the future, the mod episode, and then potentially the extra modes. But we'll see about that second one.
Well, yeah, those extra modes are a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the differences between Leon's story and Claire's story. That's the topic I'm interested in talking about in a second. What would you say is the most distinct difference between them?
With Leon's story, there's an air of mystery to both, but to him, it's like he sees more of the corruption going on and stuff. And then there's also Ada following him around, and she's like, oh, she's an FBI agent, or so we think. And she's trying to catch Annette, who she thinks Annette is the one that unleashed the virus. And with Claire's, it's just like, oh, I need to protect this child and find my brother.
Yeah, Leon's has that air going on to it, and Claire's very much has more of emotional weight to it, where it's like you see this Claire protecting Sherry and just literally risking her life and limb to save this kid she met less than an hour ago, and if you're a speedrunner, 20 minutes ago. Yeah. And you get to see more of Annette's side of the story and her character and her development.
Lower it.
And then you get to watch her die.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was also very emotional. It's like, that's why I think you were right with when you said in part 2 that the kendo thing should have been for Claire, because that will have just upped the emotional gravity that was already set in Claire's.
Yeah. Like, it should have been in both, in my opinion.
Stop asking questions.
It's a good point.
Just with different dialogue. Like, yeah.
Like, the kendo can be like, get out of here before that happens to her or something, and points at Sherry or whatever.
So, yeah.
Or maybe Godzilla fucks him to death.
So, this is something towards the end. Leon's scenario. When he gets into the west side of the lab, he finds the last vial of the G virus. So it can be like taken to the FBI. They can, arrest Umbrella and destroy them and shit like that. You will notice Sherry's locket is in place to open up the storage machine.
Mm-hmm.
So in her timeline, she's actually already been through.
Right.
It's weird how it's because like they fight the same monsters and everything, and it's just kind of there for the gameplay. But you can kind of sit down and piece together like, okay, it's definitely this happens, but this must not canonically actually happen to this character. It's just there to, so you're not just walking through an area with nothing happening.
Right. Yeah, because there are logical ties to each, and like, it makes sense where Claire's is kind of happening before Leon's, especially when we're going to the destruction of the lab. Leon is talking to Claire while she is setting up the fuse to put on for the train car.
Yeah.
I told you to get out of here.
And I kind of already went over this, but yeah, I think G3 is the best form of G. It gives off the vibes of like an almost demonic monster without being too ridiculous like G4 and G5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. G3 also looks really cool.
Oh yeah. Very
Yeah.
good, creepy design. It worked well.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good designs with this game.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's what we can just keep doing is, like, this entire thing is like, we've made 3 episodes out of this because we just love this game so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's so much to talk about. Leon's scenario, he meets with Annette, and she's like, Ada's not really FBI, she's a mercenary. Torn by his feelings, he confronts Ada on this, and she basically confirms it by immediately pulling a gun on him, which, if I had a nickel for every time that happened to Leon in this game, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's funny that it happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reference to a show I've never watched, but I love
Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah. I've seen the meme everywhere. It's one of my favorite memes of the show. I should watch it sometime.
It is. It's entertaining.
I keep seeing short videos. What's the guy that plays the scientist guy? What's his name?
Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah,
Well,
voice
the
actor.
character's name is Doof. Oh, I don't remember the voice actor's name.
Hang on, let me Google this. It's like, let's see, Doofenshmirtz. We're going on a tangent here. Dan Povenmire. Yeah, he has short videos on YouTube and it's fucking funny stuff. So it's just making me want to watch the show now.
We could do episodes on it. It's on Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah, possibly. But first,
and they're doing a new season.
Yeah, I need to first finish DuckTales because remember when we did the first one and we were like, maybe in a few months we'll do season 2's episode, and here we are on our 3rd season a year later. We still haven't done it. It's just taking me so long to get through that show.
Right.
But yeah, Ada ends up falling to her death after being shot by Annette. Annette ends up succumbing to her wounds. And again, I'm gonna say it, it's bullshit that Ada survived. It's like if Han Solo came back in The Last Jedi, I'd be like, it's cool that you're here, but no fucking way.
Right.
Whereas in Claire's campaign, she manages to return to Sherry, gives her the G vaccine, which it has an interesting effect from what I've learned from something that happens much later, all the way in Resident Evil 6. Her DNA is still like partially corrupted and changed by the G virus, and she's brought back, but from what I've read, she is practically immortal because of this. So that's a cool side effect.
Yeah. Did you say pregnant?
No, practically immortal.
Oh, for some reason.
Yeah, so she got the vax. Jeez. Yeah, the vaccine not only healed her, it made her pregnant for like the next 18 years of her life. and you can't even tell.
Saving your ass, that's twice.
I didn't realize you were keeping score.
Look, this isn't a game. Nothing dies around here.
Damn Umbrella, what will they think of next?
Oh. So anyway.
And this. I was hoping you could explain what's on it.
Maybe.
So
Let's get out.
anyways, guys, we'll see you in part 4. Oh, God damn it. Anyway, so after she got it, she does end up in her last breaths apologizing to Sherry for basically neglecting her,
You're stuck with me to the end.
and it's a sweet moment.
Ugh.
But unfortunately she passes. But I think it's a better death than just
Unfortunately.
collapsing after shooting Ada.
Right.
So
Wait there.
yeah, Claire has to unfortunately cut Sherry's mourning short because the facility goes into self-destruct mode.
Right. Which is just, yeah, it's great with Annette because we see her like 3 times, but the story setting and like the story we get to learn from her gives us this emotional investment to this character that's kind of like cold and standoffish for most of the game when you see her, and then you get that final moment and you just kind of like things are setting into place and you just like, oh, this is what happened.
Yeah. So we get to the final boss. Leon's Mutated Mr. X, we already went over this. Gotta fucking blow him up with a rocket launcher.
Its secret weapon.
This rocket launcher is from Ada, who somehow survived her fall. Somehow Ada Wong survived. Oh, no, sorry, the line. No, that wasn't right. Somehow Ada Wong returned.
She's like Darth Maul,
Darth.
just down that shaft where he's in half.
Well, I was referring to Sidious, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
G4.
But the Rise of Skywalker stuff. G4.
Yeah. I mean,
G4.
yeah. We'll get to the Star Wars movies. I agree. Like, Rise of Skywalker is kind of underwhelming, but yeah, it had some nice moments at least. But yeah, most of it just it was too rushed. Anyways, that's another video, probably in season 4. So G4, tiny platform. It's tricky. He's a damage sponge in that form.
You have to be very conservative with the bullets. Even if you have the minigun, you can still run out if you're like too spray and pray. Pay and spray.
Yeah.
What is this, GTA?
Yeah. In a Claire one that I did, I believe it was scenario B, I got to that point. I used every grenade I had.
Always been good at running.
I didn't have any ammo left for the little submachine gun thing. I used all of the revolver ammo. Wait, no. No, that was the last thing I used. I emptied the entire minigun into him. I used all of my acid rounds. And I beat him with just like 16 bullets left of handgun ammo.
Hot damn.
Yeah, he takes a lot. It's ridiculous.
He really does. I think that's where the difficulty comes from, and also the difficulty of you're laying the shots, but you kind of forget how much ground G4 Birkin can cover.
Yeah.
Because it's like he can do the running thing, but he can also actually catch up to you pretty fast. Especially if he's doing the swings.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely once you get Birkin down to a certain amount of health, he begins to crawl. And what's really interesting is you can actually just watch that happen and watch him die. You don't even need to shoot him.
Yeah. But it's fun too.
Yeah.
So now, the B scenario.
Oh yes, the B scenario.
So, the gas station, forget the gas station. It's a cutscene. It's over in like 10 seconds. The opening is pretty spooky because, even though they've been throwing some bodies in front of the station, there's a makeshift graveyard in like a little spot on the side. It's like I guess like a break area or something. There's some grass, there's benches. But they've been digging up graves to, like, bury the bodies. At least some of them. It's spooky. As a start
it really
there.
Is.
However, I think they missed an opportunity here to start. And how at the beginning they're separated. I think the B scenario should have started there, having you work your way to that spot.
Right.
Like, you run up to the front of the station, but it's barricaded. So you keep going around. Maybe you go through another building and then you come back, and then you find that spot. And that would explain, like, how, the other character's already been through a bunch of the station by now. I think that was a
Yeah.
missed opportunity. I think that would have been a good start. And then when you arrive, you walk in and it's just, oh my god, it's a makeshift grave. It's like, I think it would have been more menacing at that point.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's I scenario B is really interesting because it's like it changes a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't change much. It's weird to see. It's as weird as that sounds.
Yeah. Most of what gets changed is enemy placements and item placements. Stuff gets moved around. Some stuff is removed. The item box in the main hall,
You called this
gone.
on William. Why?
And yeah, other shit gets moved around. There's no
Umbrella's fault, this whole mess.
ammo for your regular handgun.
You're telling me
You have to
Umbrella-
make
Yeah.
that yourself. You only get your alternative ammo.
Never meant for this to happen.
So now you have to carry 2 guns instead of just the one. So you really have to conserve your space. Even though they give you a free fanny pack right away.
With Claire's run, though, it's like with scenario B, you stick with the Colt single action army, the greatest handgun ever made. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves.
That's true. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever.
God, William,
Excellent, good
done?
Metal
But-
Gear references.
But yeah, otherwise it's a good gun, I'll give you that. I know I
love
said
it.
the line backwards, but whatever.
You're still responsible.
Yeah,
Anyways,
my only thing with the Colt single action army in as Claire is like, or really just using it in general, is just if you click on it, you can on accident just spend the entire 6 by just clicking it once on it. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's
like it,
tricky.
and at the same time, it bothers me.
Yeah, it's tricky. So,
Cool looking though.
We can't let it go away.
so there's one thing that's a negative for me. Is when you arrive, go into the main hall, Marvin is already a zombie at this point, so in this timeline, you don't actually meet him. He's merely just another zombie. So, like, I
Right.
feel like there's no feelings there. It's just another zombie in your path to shoot.
Right.
I think it would have been better to at least put him further into his state. Like, you come across, in the main story, when you go to wake him up to try to take him with you, how he wakes up almost snarling because
Right.
he's just so close to turning. Should have been something like that. And he's just like, he calms himself down and brings it back to his humanity side, and just like he gives you a clue of some kind. And like that's all you get to see of him. Once you come back, he's
Right.
gone. And maybe have a cutscene where it's like you're right about to shoot him, and he just half whispers like a word out. The last little shred of him just says one last thing before it's fully consumed. I think that would have been pretty good.
That would have been.
And also, you play scenario B, unless you're like me and you like pain, stay the fuck away from the stars hallway, because if you walk past that door or you go in and come out, X will come for you right there.
Right.
I swear his AI is a little smarter than B, just slightly, but maybe it's just because you have to deal with him more.
Right. It's you have to deal with him while you're doing the medallions in scenario B, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because like if you do the explosive thing, it's like as soon as the C4 goes off, he's like, "Oh, I know where you are."
Yeah. She's up in the
You have to be
storage
really
room.
fast. Ooh. And he makes the trek up the stairs. I'm sure he hates stairs. Mm-hmm.
Because he goes slow. He always goes
yeah,
slow up the stairs. So.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to slip. He's very careful. He's like, these boots have no grip on them. I can't run on them. Can't run the stairs.
Yeah. It'd be funny.
Or he
be
has
funny
excuse. What?
Be funny if someone made that into a mod, like gave him some new animation. So it's like if he tries to run up the stairs, he just slips and just falls down.
There's a mod where he just has his shoes untied, so if he runs too fast, he just slips.
Fucking hilarious.
That would be.
But that brings me to the last of my notes, which means that's the end of the episode, and it's time to give Venom a shot of the G-Virus, because
We made it.
unbeknownst to him, I'm actually Albert Wesker, and I just want to experiment on him.
This is Sherry.
Oh, what else is new?
Jesus.
What was that?
I don't know. I'll go.
Wait, did Future Heroicus know this?
I was always Future Heroicus, from a certain point of view.
No!
Yeah, I can't believe the podcast ends at season 57.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, spoiler alert, bro. So what's your final note?
That episode where we covered the 100th episode, 100th season of The Simpsons was pretty good, actually.
Oh, really?
But anyway.
What was your favorite episode?
Oh Homer, where art thou? It was a reference to one of the, like, what was it, season 2? They had an episode like that or something named similarly.
A
Homer's,
callback episode.
Homer's cloned uncle comes back from the dead. Is really good.
Ooh. That sounds titillating.
Anyway.
So, on your notes, you said you have one last thing.
No, I said that was it.
Oh, that was it? Dang.
Yeah. I finally ran out. You're free now.
There's one last thing. Is with scenario B, the placement of items are different. Yes, like for instance, the signal modulator is on the corpse of the soldier in the main shaft area of the laboratory. A couple things are placed differently, and the puzzles have different solutions.
Yeah, that's about it.
Right. And then also you fight G5, which in normal playthrough, instead of fighting G5, it just cuts to a scene of G5 slowly breaking out of the back of the train car. But in scenario B is the quote-quote official ending, where it shows the fight with G5 getting destroyed, everything getting destroyed, and then they're out in the open. They're free. They're tense. Leon kind of steps right in front of the truck, and then the guy in the truck lays her out and just showing that they did the right thing and they stopped it.
Yeah, so what Venom was trying to say before he cut out badly is Leon stepped in front of a truck and the trucker flipped him off.
Oh, I cut out?
Are you guys like...
Yeah.
So yeah, that thing Hiroka said, that I said that.
Would I want to have a first date, though?
Are you sure? I think I said it.
He might be able to give us a ride.
Are you threatening me, Jedi?
What if it's not just a city?
Get Sherry out of here.
Oh, right. The Senate will decide your fate.
I am the Senate.
Not yet.
He does that twirl.
Alright. That's it. Now, we're gonna go to bed together, maybe.
Friendly.
Yeah, the collective podcast bed.
So,
Yeah.
is it over?
I don't know. But if it's not,
All right. That's it. See you guys next time.
Yeah, you're damn right we will.
Thank you for tuning in.
As long as we stick together, we'll be fine. Come on.
Hey, you guys can adopt me.
Adopt you.
We can get a puppy
Puppy.
and a parrot.
Parrot.
I always wanted pets, but my mom said they're too messy.